Collective, what's going on? Today we're going to do a little thing, something different. We are going to see what messages that Khonsu has for us during this time. I felt led to make this video. It is a little different format. Normally when I do channeling, I'll do automatic writing or automatic typing. This time I'm going to just go off of my clairaudience and what I hear and what is dropped into my spirit by the divine or Khonsu, the deity himself, him or herself. For those of you not familiar who Khonsu is, he or she is a keeper of time in traditional Egyptian literature or Egyptian mythology, the Egyptian scriptures, whatever you want to call it, the Book of the Dead. Okay, he's a chronographer, record keeper of time, the original one that the Kemetic sciences or the Kemetic faith attributed the one that was a keeper of time. So if you have any other details about Khonsu that you want to add, so just to give people more context, for the sake of understanding and in the sake of time, go ahead and write a comment about what you know about him, so I don't have to go into details. But I'm going to use my clairaudience, channel the messages, and I'm going to clarify everything I'm hearing by any deck that I'm been called to pull from. So Spirit is saying now, first of all, let me go ahead and start. Divine Cosmic Intelligence of the Universe, please protect me while I channel the messages from Khonsu, the chronographer. Obviously, there's a message in space and time that there needs to be delivered regarding this. I'm not quite sure what. And of course, this message is not going to be for everybody, but it will be a collective message. So it will be applying. You should apply this to the universal energies. Even if it doesn't make sense to you at this time, it's still going to be affecting the universal energy. So Spirit is going ahead and telling me that I need to pull the cosmic cards from what I'm hearing. I haven't touched this deck in a minute, so I'm going to shuffle them real quick. So far, what I'm hearing, and I think this is why I've been led to channel the messages from Khonsu, this particular energy. First, I'm hearing that when we channel deities, especially from a time and era, whether it's from Sumeria, Kemet, Egypt, Greek, Romans, whatever, when you're channeling that particular deity, you're not necessarily channeling them per se. You are, but you're channeling the message and the energy of that, of what they represent. So there's universal archetypes that are in the spirit realm, from people that have gone on and energies that have gone on. And there are some deities that had fleshly bodies. And when they crossed over, or when they transitioned, they either chose to incarnate into another form of a deity, or they took a lesser position within the earth realm or on other planets, other celestial bodies. So the energies that are being channeled are constant relative to whatever that energy represents or whatever that deity represents. So all the deities have different representations, and no matter what energy space that particular name of the deity that you're calling upon is operating under, the representation is going to remain the same, if that makes sense. So let's go ahead. What I'm hearing so far now is that a lot of us have been left in a time loop. A lot of us have been left behind. The reset has already happened, and time is looping backwards. For those who are on the catch end of it or the tail end of it, you might be feeling very dense, very heavy, like you feel like something's about to happen, but it feels like, okay, very uncertain. It's a very uncertain energy. And what you're feeling is that dense feeling is relating to the weighing of the feather. If you know anything about Egyptian Book of the Dead, when you crossed over and you went to the seat of judgment, or you went to get your heart weighed, your heart had to be lighter than a feather for you to cross over into the next higher dimension. You had to become lighter. And so that dense feeling that a lot of us are feeling, or some of us, very few of us probably, to be honest, not everybody is intuitive as others. That dense feeling is feeling that is trying to keep us trapped in this dimension, that is trying to keep us trapped in this plane of existence, in this realm. And the issue with this 3D realm right now, for those type of people who feel that density, and that's why they call it the 3 density matrix. You feel that because it's this 3 density matrix is currently being sucked backwards in time, and it's looping and repeating the history of times past. Let's go ahead and get the cosmic cards, because we don't want this to just only be a message of no hope, right? We don't want it to be negative completely. Let's see what the cosmic cards are saying. Mother Earth. Yes, the changes are happening on Earth itself. Just like we talk about New Earth and the Earth splitting, the Earth changing, the energy shifting, the pole shifting, everything that's happening here, the shifts that are taking place upon the Earth now. Things are changing, the poles are changing, the polarities of the energies of Earth are changing, period. And that's, Earth is only bound to the 3 density aspect of time. Space and time exist as we know it because we're connected to this Mother Earth here. Some of you might be feeling like you've had certain conversations before. The energies feel very familiar. A lot of deja vu is happening to a lot of people, and then this dense heaviness feeling is happening, and that's because the time has been looping backwards. For those who are very heavy and connected to this 3D matrix, the time has been looping backwards, and the events are even repeating themselves closer behind each other over and over again. A lot of people have been saying that they feel like time has sped up. And that's their intuition saying, okay, you know, something has really moved forward. Something has reached its height. Okay, we have the number 9 here. That's definitely significant. 9 being the highest number. The number of transitional endings. That's your intuition, you know, telling you that changes might have to be made if you want to go to this new Earth or to this higher dimension. First of all, with dimensions, there's thousands of dimensions within our realm of existence right now. There's multi-levels of dimensions, but people always are talking about the 3rd dimension, the 4th dimension, the 5th dimension. And I think the space and time aspect keeps that understanding becomes very, very limited. And it needs not to be, because once you get out of that space-time loop, there's thousands of dimensions. There's thousands of parallel energies. But it really takes someone who's enlightened, someone who has their crown chakra open. Major change. I'm hearing the scripture that says, in a blink of an eye, we will be transformed with the renewing of our minds. That was that language was being expressive, and people say, oh, that's allegorical. I think a lot of it had to do with actual physical changes of the physical body, the physical mind, the 3rd eye, the crown chakra, the pineal gland even. I'm also hearing Jacob's ladder. When his name was changed to Israel, the angel told him to change the name of that place to Pineal, because it said, the scripture said specifically, that was where he fought an angel of God, or that's when he saw the face of God face to face, and he had to change his name to Israel because he saw what was real at the place of pineal, his pineal gland, which is the biological aspect of what we refer to as the 3rd eye, was illuminated at that point and opened. but also to move forward and become light as a feather, your crown chakra, the bright white light within you, the God's force within you has to be activated as well. And I think this message from Khonsu is almost like a reassuring, it's a warning for some people, but it's also something we should be reassured about if we do have this intuition or this intuitive idea of feeling very dense and very tied down and heavy during this time within this world and this matrix, especially not even with everything that's going on. But time is looping. Khonsu is saying that. Even from everything that's happened, didn't we just have a shooting every year? There's been a shooting in the same places. We had a shooting last night for El Paso in a public place. And there was a shooting the same time this year, same time last year, right down the street at a Walmart. Multiple shootings at these universities at the same time of year. Like, time is really repeating itself, but it's repeating itself on a very short term now. Even with the UAP and the UFO sightings, they were telling us that there were these weather balloons and these balloon crafts and spy balloons in 1947 during Roswell. They told us that then. But they're telling us the same storyline today in 2023 that, these aren't UFOs. These are flying weather balloons and spying balloons and stuff. Time is the same thing, but it's like we haven't evolved. And then they say, our radars and our equipment hasn't been able to pick up this type of stuff because we haven't upgraded our stuff since 1980. Well, how is that the case when you were giving everybody the same storyline in 1947 that you are in 2023? How is that the case? How is it the same story? And those Roswell documents have been declassified, by the way. Anybody can go online and look at the report. They got autopsy reports and everything about the species that they found from those crashes. But that's just a side note. But let's go ahead and confirm this. Go into the tarot to confirm what is being channeled from Khonsu about this time looping. And people that might be feeling very dense, very heavy, how is this going to affect the universal collective? Spirit, thank you for the messages. How is this going to affect the universal collective in this present moment in time? What can we do about this? How is it going to continue to affect us in our immediate future? The Hierophant is here, okay? So any obligations you have, any spiritual, legal, this is talking about cosmic contracts. This is talking about any agreements that you made before you incarnated into the earth realm. The Hierophant, the Pope. This card speaks about cosmic contracts, formal contracts, traditional religion, traditional relationships, marriage, going through the process of doing things correct and in order. This is what this card represents. But this is confirming what I was hearing. Some of us are also going to be bound to this space and time because we have unfulfilled karmic contracts that we made before we entered into this earth realm and into this innate existence, that until we complete our obligations or work through whatever contracts we made in the spirit realm, whatever we came here to learn, we will have to continue to come back over and over and over again until these contracts are either fulfilled or canceled. Spirit is saying you can cancel the contract if you want to, because you signed up to incarnate here and you made those agreements in the spirit realm before you came. But that's going to keep you bound if you don't cancel these soul ties, these contracts, if you don't want to keep coming back and doing the same thing with the same people over and over and over again. Yes, at the bottom of the deck, it's taxing for a lot of you. Some of you are like, okay, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to keep coming back with the same people, reincarnating with the same people, trying to do the same thing over and over again in my life. What's different? Okay, so one lifetime I'm the husband and he's the wife, and we switch it and we do over. Or one lifetime I'm the brother and they're the sister. You know, you can choose to cancel the contract. If you didn't learn anything from what you've made, you can cancel the contract, Spirit is saying, because those cosmic contracts that we make voluntarily before we come here can also keep us bound if we don't settle our obligation, if we don't settle the debt that's made. So that sounds like a lot of people are going to be stuck behind in this time looping software system existence that we're in, simply because of a technicality. So you have to, unless you can figure out exactly the purpose behind the contract and the agreement that you've made before you entered in here, and that's going to help you understand if you want to keep it or not. If you want to continue to hold on to the agreement, are you holding on because there's an actual lesson to be made? Or are you being hopeful that it's going to get better? You have to know your aim. You have to know your purpose. Four of Pentacles here. Is there solid substance here? Or are you just trying to hold on because of what might be perceived as valuable, a valuable lesson? Or maybe you really know that it is something very valuable and you don't want to give up. That's something that you have to figure out. The King of Swords. That's truth that you're going to have to excavate. The King of Swords, it's all about truth and understanding and taking up one's power of a decision here. Some of you have multiple contracts. These could also be two individuals of high authority that you might have some serious karmic debt with. Page of Pentacles. Could very well be a family dynamic here. Some of you have specifically incarnated before you came in here and said you didn't want families because you knew that that was going to help you be bound to this earth. Wherever your heart is, there you will be also. So if you have a lot of people that you really care about and a big family on earth, that can help, that can really bring you an attachment to this realm and make you very attached to what goes on down here in this earth. It also has a lot to do with creating more karma for oneself too. Okay, so this to me is, you know, it's confirming, you know, if we want to make it out of the cycle of reincarnation and not have to always circle back and be reincarnated back here, this is what this looks like to me, then we got to settle either our karmic contracts, fulfill our lessons of destiny and what we signed up to do before we came here. Make sure we're not holding on to anything that's unnecessary and not as profitable, because you don't want to continue the cycle of reincarnation only to come back and do it again and not really have any truth and clarity about what the lessons are, because that'll keep you in that same cycle. So let's see what else is going on here. What else is a factor here? Messages from Khonsu regarding time, space, and time in this time. Page of Pentacles. I'm sorry, the Knight of Pentacles. So slow. It might be a slow process. You might be slow to understand your aim, your goal, but it will be profitable. The Knight of Pentacles is a slow-moving knight, but it's definitely something profitable. You got the Ten of Swords with the Ten of Cups at the bottom of the deck here. So some of you are bound here because of some family ties, some wish fulfillment as well. Karmic lessons tied into building a family, having a family, maintaining a family, or karmic debt due to a betrayal. Some people might not have a choice. They might have to fulfill their cosmic contracts until they're able to become light as a feather so they can go into the next dimension or move on to the next school, because Earth is just a school, right? Five of Pentacles. People that might choose to not reincarnate in a certain season. That could be if you're, you know, a lot of us do feel empty. We feel left. We might feel unfulfilled. We might feel like we don't have anybody. So some people who might have already been in this position to where they're like, hey, I don't want to come back here anymore. I don't want to do this again. And maybe in the next incarnation, or maybe currently, some people can be feeling down and out in the cold, like they have no one. Partially that's because somebody didn't want to fulfill their cosmic contract. They chose not to incarnate, or they severed one. Two of Cups. There's some twin flames that chose not to incarnate at every time in their lifetime because of some type of truth or an healing option. Or this could be future. I believe this is future tense. There's a lot of twin flames when one person or one half fulfills their cosmic contracts and they're at that level where they're healed and they're able to be open with their twin flame. And so the other twin flame might not have their obligations fulfilled, so they have to continue to come back and back and back and learn their lessons alone without this incarnation, without their twin flame incarnating. And then once this person reaches a certain level of ascension, then that's when they can come back if they choose to in a lifetime and be reunited in the 3D reality, in the 3-density world. Okay, we got the Queen of Sticks, which is the Queen of Wands, and the King of Wands here. Divine counterparts, equals. So this is probably specific to someone's situation here. It might be a twin flame situation where somebody has uneven karma, where somebody has learned their lesson. And they're like, I'm not getting stuck back in that 3D time loop. I'm going to sit back a couple lifetimes while you go through the cycle and you learn. You learn the lessons that you signed up for. Because I'm not coming back to this realm. I'm hearing that now. There's many chapters to this reading. Take it how it resonates. Let's get one last one for this in relation to this Page of Pentacles here. But yeah, there's definitely a family dynamic here, a twin flame energy too. We have the 7 of Wands, defending one's position, picking one's battles too, I'm hearing. Not everything is for everybody, right? Why, if you already know you're in a higher position, in a higher ground, you see how he's standing up higher than all these other threats, so-called threats here. He's defending his position, but at the same time, he's like, why? You know, this is burdensome to me. This is taxing. You got the 10 of Wands at the bottom of the deck here. So the main takeaway here is that, you know, time has been looped. We are in a major time loop and stuff is really recurring rapidly over and over and over again. History is only going to continue to repeat itself heavily until we can get out of this time loop. Things will continue to be similar, and a lot of us just need to change our paradigm, change our perspective. But anybody who's feeling that dense heaviness, this is where it's coming from. Khonsu is giving us a message saying, hey, chronologically, things have been reset and it's being re-looped. Just like the infinity symbol is being re-pulled back, pulling back, pull it back, looping back, looping back. So once you get to a certain point in the 3-density matrix, this density, this dimension is only so vast. It's only so large. I can see why I would have to pull back and repeat the same cycle again. There's nothing new under the sun. Nothing. So let's get one more takeaway for this, for the solution and any confirmation of messages. I'm just going to clarify the overall solution for this message with another deck here. 9 of Swords, yeah. A big major loop, a repeating of cycles. Feeling like you're in the twilight zone, going through things over and over and over in your head, or coming here for many, many lifetimes, over and over and over again, and having the same experiences over and over and over again, because maybe you're not learning that lesson of whatever there is to learn. we got 2 nines. We started off the reading with 9s. We got the 9 of Wands too with the Emperor. So it's like order. The Moon card with the 6 of Wands at the bottom of the deck. Moon card being like, okay, this is a celestial body saying, hey, the aspects of time are shifted. With the Oracle card in the beginning, we saw the Earth, Mother Earth. Here we have the other celestial body talking about the Moon. Things repeating the same cycle. The phases of the Moon is constant. You can't change its assignment. It has to go out for what it's set for. So if time is still being governed with the celestial bodies, the sun and the moon, everything on Earth has to be subjected to that space of time. Let's get one clarifier for this twin flame story here. Just one. The soulmate twin flame energy here with the 2 of Cups. The 5 of Cups. Yeah, 2 of Cups to the 5 of Cups. Heartbreak, regret. The cloak of heaviness. The traditional 5 of Cups card is like the minor arcana hermit card. He's cloaked with a black cloak of heaviness, of remorse, of regret. So I think this message is all just about helping us realize what the times are, why it's this way, you know, because it's not just as simple as saying, okay, you need to know what time it is, it's the end of the world, or judgment is coming, or Christ is coming back. It's not always that simple. We have to understand why it's like that, because they've been saying it even from biblical times, that the end of the world was coming and Christ is coming back. They've been saying that for centuries, right? Why is it any different now? It's not going to necessarily look like what we think it's going to, I don't think. This is about changing our mindset, changing our paradigm, changing our crown chakras and our third eye, using our intuition to see what's really going on. This is about spiritual ascension. Even the scriptures tell us the earth will always remain. The earth will never be destroyed. What's going to change, what's going to ascend, what's going to allow us to go to the next dimension, into the kingdom or whatever planet we're trying to get to, is going to be a shifting of our minds. That's it. So thank you, Khonsu, for the message. Thank you, Spirit, for protecting me while I channeled the messages. Please take this message how it resonates. This is a universal message that's going to be affecting the universal spirit and soul of the collective. So if you did find value in this video, please like and share and subscribe. It really helps the channel. And I will see you in the next one, okay? Shalom.